and welcome to Kump. It's an ominous we need an ominous song, all right? This is our new, it's not a new track. We're not replacing the iconic Kump track. I thought this was appropriate. We're entering an amped up time. You need to get some fucking, you need some, grind some speed in your teeth, like some kind of cyberpunk robot. That's what we're doing here. We're just gonna those fucking Matrix chemicals. Yeah. New track I'm working on. I don't know. I'm fucking around with music. It's fine. Welcome to Kump. See, we're doing multimedia stuff now. We're just, eventually that'll be, I'll hit buttons and you'll have songs come up and it's all just coming up Kump. It's just, welcome to the show. It's a crazy time. Everyone's getting COVID. Everyone's, doing reality documentaries in the White House. You got Borat roaming the country. He might get you. He might trick you into having his daughter jerk off or whatever. I don't know. It's a weird time to live in. I was talking about it on the podcast, the Patreon earlier today. I don't know. Did Giuliani jerk off? Was he jerking off into his belt? Anything's possible. It doesn't seem like it to me. I'm not going to give the full review. For the full review, you can go to the Patreon. I mean, it's just, it's that. Look, if you can't afford the Patreon or you don't feel like paying for it, that's not a big hostage. To find out what I think of Borat. I don't feel like I'm being immoral. I just don't want to, repeat it for the people who do listen. But, oh, look, I like Kump. I was on board, but he's trying to monetize everything. He wants to monetize his Borat 2 review. He wants to keep that behind a paywall. Well, there you go, buddy. There you go. I'm keeping the family jewels, the secrets, close to the vest. You got to pay for the goods. You get me ranting for an hour, improving about, who knows what. We'll find out. But you want to know what I think of Borat 2. You better pony up, boy. You better bring the cash and the pennies. Why does no one ever say that? That's a great expression, the cash and the pennies. I might call the episode that. Maybe we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll come up with something better. But yeah, apparently, I don't know. It's fine. The movie's, he's got some moments. I'm not a cultural critic, but apparently, I found out later on today, the kid was at the White House. Not the kid. I guess she wasn't a kid. That's the whole point with the Giuliani thing, and whether he was jerking off into his belt like a true New Yorker. Giuliani's a real New Yorker because he jerks off into his belt like the old school. But I don't know why they didn't really. I guess they just didn't get much good footage. Just Borat was just shitting into the Lincoln bedroom or the kid. I don't know. I don't know what why. Just include the White House footage. Maybe Trump was behind it. Maybe the footage reveals that Trump and Borat are in cahoots. You can never know anymore. I mean, it seems like, Sacha Baron Cohen's a liberal, I guess. It's a crazy time. Apparently, people are they're fighting each other in the streets of New York today. There was a parade. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll structure the show somewhat. Just a reminder, your I'm a Wine Princess Bitch t-shirts. Get them while they're available. They're on the link. You'll be on the link to the podcast, wherever you're watching it, and you can go on my Twitter and Instagram. It's in the profile. There's limited time, they say. I have no control. We'll see. People are buying them. People love them. I can't give you chunks of my flesh as if I was Christ. I would love to. I would love to just rip off, take a knife and open up my wounds and cut out a cracker and go, oh, this is a cracker now. This was my body, but it's a cracker. Kump. This is the next best thing. So you get that. You get these music coming. That's what you look. We're a package deal here. People want to be entertained in multiple. You can't just be a comedian. You can't just be a porn star. You can't just jerk off into your belt like the old guys. You have to do everything all at once. You have to be a multi-threat, or what do they call it? Is it a multi-threat? There's a word for this. A triple threat. You have to hit them on all sides. You could be like Shirley Temple. You got to be able to dance, sing. Just pure talent. You know, people talk shit about Shirley Temple, I guess, the child actress, and I think she was one of the few ones who was like, legit, just incarnate, cut out of granite talent. I don't know, what happened. I'm sure she was abused, right? Did she? I forget. A lot of them talk about it. I'm not trying to fixate on it. She became a goddamn ambassador to the UN or something, so I think she's relatively well adjusted. Good for Shirley Temple. But, I'm not going to be Shirley Temple. I'm too late to the game to be Shirley Temple. I'm too. I've learned the ropes too late. Shirley Temple could, she could have been an MMA star. She could have been going after John Jones. And who was the guy who was great? Anderson Silva? Do I have a lot of Joe Rogan overlap fans who like MMA? I don't know. I mean, I could talk MMA. I haven't watched it in a while. But I used to watch really Anderson Silva. I used to love Fedor. I have nothing to add. I could, if I was doing an MMA show, it would, or a show that had that, like, like if I was on Rogan, he was like, "What do you think of this new kid, Krishkash, whatever? I don't know, Russian Coptic name, whatever the fuck." There's a guy, and I'd be like, "Looks like he does a lot of sit-ups." That's all I have. I don't. I could really have him hold me down and make me feel bad about myself and maybe bite him. I don't know how to analyze the fights. I'll watch it and go, that guy moves quick. That guy's a winner. He's a winner. He's that boy. He wins like the best of them. But I don't know how to add. I gotta find a thing I can add to. Besides, I need an overlapping media that I can kind of latch on to and be video games. I don't really play that many. Electronic music. I don't know. I don't know if I could because so many people who are into electronic music are like fuckboys. It's like nerds who make it, but it's fuckboys who like it. So I don't know. I'll be talking about some like weird synth that like I want to buy, but I probably won't because I just look at shit. I'll just make music or whatever, and then you're like, this is not fun. I thought I was gonna be in Ibiza dancing with a fucking whore, some model whore, whatever. And it's just I don't know how to relate to people besides what I normally do. But I need to broaden the horizon. Maybe I'll get a goatee. I mean, I've shaved my I don't know if shaved is the right word. I've cut my hair with my own two hands. Just trying to make myself more commercially available. Quibi's gone, so that's one avenue. I was trying to get a Quibi show going with something to do with me just solving Navy crimes every week. Kind of like NCIS Extreme, but it's just me. Because, I'm not going to... It's Quibi. I don't think Quibi has the money to, pay Don Marino and, Joe Namath and me at the same time. It's like, so I'm keeping a piece of the pie here. We'll get the football stars when you buy the whole property later. But that fell through because they're gone. So goodbye, Quibi. I would have been great on Quibi. You just turned me on, and I'm just talking about, let's just try it out. So it's just episodic, right? You're waiting on the train. You turn on the Quibi app, and these clicks are click ready. It's Kump. Yes, I don't know. It's raining outside. Maybe I'll throw up in an alleyway, take a shit. I'm kind of lonely. I'm eating a bagel right now. Like, this is what you're hearing. And that's just the show. I pitched this to them. They didn't like this. They liked the Joe Namath starring me thing. But the idea of me just kind of, but I like the idea of me just kind of starting a conversation in the middle. Doesn't make much sense. Quibi's gone. What are you going to do? People are throwing rocks at people is the point. You have people throwing rocks at Jews. Is that all right to say Jews? Jewish people? Is apparently a Jews for Trump convoy. It's going around the city. I don't know who. I don't know. The Jews, we overlap them with the Israelis a lot. People are like, oh, you conflate Israel and Jewish people. I don't know. And then they do it too sometimes. I'm just trying to get, is that why Jewish people like them? I mean, I'm not saying you can't like them. I just don't know why as a people, like if you're going to group together to like someone, why would you like Trump? I mean, he did put the Temple Mount in Israel. No, what did he do? He put the station, the embassy in Jerusalem. They like that. The Israelis like that, I guess. So I don't know. Seems contentious. it just seems like we'll play a video here. This is some guy on the. Apparently, people are throwing pepper spray at them. They're throwing rocks over the overpass. I don't know if they're big rocks, but they're just there's some rocks going on. There's some video, something. I'm doing multimedia. This is fun. This is what you wanted. Everyone asked, why isn't Kump doing more multimedia? And here, this guy's angry.
Get out of here! Don't touch my car! Don't touch my car! Don't touch my car! Don't touch my car!
Some guy's punching the car and saying, "Don't touch my car."
Don't touch my car.
It's reasonable.
Get out of here.
It's reasonable.
Get
I don't know. This guy's on a bicycle. It looks like the Williamsburg Bridge. I don't know. What are we doing? I mean, go vote. Vote whoever you want. It's just, I don't want to minimize the election. I don't want to minimize the stakes. It does seem like we're amping up for a crazy time, but it also, we're just all playing along to get, more amped up than we should be. This is a time when you need to put your creative... Politics is not going to solve anything, right? I mean, you try to get leaders that, just do the basic. Stop, giving people... Stop shooting people. Stop hurting people. Give people... Are they going to give people help? I mean, nice. I think we have to realize, people have different parents growing up, right? And your dad, maybe he worked hard. And it's not... Don't worry, it's not a fucking... A metaphor about hard work, and I'm not doing the Ayn Rand thing. I'm just saying, your dad always gave you nice stuff, and then some of the guys like, my dad, he would just shit on the floor while I was making popcorn in the middle of the night, and he'd make me clean up in the morning. He's like to come out of the bedroom and get some midnight popcorn, wearing no pants, and just take a dump while he's waiting for it to microwave. And that's not great. That's not ideal. Dad, but you're kind of stuck with the parents you have, right? And this is not, again, about generational wealth, right? It's a metaphor. It's a parable, much like Jesus would do. And I'm saying is I think we kind of realize what we have here. We don't have a great government. We don't have we have healthcare over here. It's I'll vote for it. I'll vote for the healthcare. I'll vote for the, stop giving, let people have abortions. Stop trying to make just stop trying to control people. I'll vote for it. But it doesn't seem like we're going to get a really, because in other countries it seems like it's just, they just have an innate sense of public service. I don't know. I don't want to buy into the Norwegian myth or whatever, the Swedish myth. They have capitalists over there, but the people just all seem pretty low key. I don't think we're going to, we should maybe all move. Not the whole thing of we don't like it, leave, but this seems like a bad place now. And I'm not anti-America. It's just I don't care. I don't get caring about a country. I got it as a kid. I got the whole gimmick of we give people freedom and we have a cool flag. We got these guys who blew up Iraq in the 90s. These are our troops. They're great. Desert Shield. I don't know. It's just when you get down to even the good things about us, they're not unique. Yeah, maybe the timing of the American Revolution was revolutionary. I mean, it was part of the greater Enlightenment. There were some bold moves there. Not with it didn't get off with that a hitch. We still had slavery, so it's never. But but whatever. It was historically, significant. But at the end of the day, we have resources, and we capitalized on them, and we had a lot of land that we took from the native people, which is of course wrong. But regardless, I'm saying why were we in a position in the 20th century? Is it all capitalism helped with these circumstances? Also at play where we had resources available because again we took them. You had. Booming industry, technology was just starting up. I don't know if we're really built for the next 300 years. We seem kind of high strung. We seem, we're kind of like a closeout firm. One of those people who comes in when a company's going out of business and they just kind of liquidate the assets. That's our whole economy all the time, it feels like. People got mad at the corporate raiders in the 80s. Because the whole idea, it was built on this whole, if I remember correctly, I'm not an economist, but, I know some stuff. The 80s were, funded by bonds. And part of that was the mortgage-backed security, like sort of the Big Short, for instance, maybe, where that was a lot of money coming into the economy. But also the introduction of, like, junk bond financing, where basically, not all of it was evil. It was the idea that, like, different risks, would give you different returns. And so, the people were playing the odds going like, look, you invest in these things, you pay, you don't pay as much for the bond or whatever, or you get a bigger rate of return. It's riskier. Again, maybe I don't remember as much as I thought. But the point is, they would come in at the end and take hold of the company. I guess that was also combined with corporate rating. I'm conflating a lot. This is why I shouldn't branch off into an economics podcast, because a lot of it is just like, I get the point, but I can't verbalize the point always. But the point is, people got mad because what they were doing at the end of it, at the end of the chain of this corporate rating and stuff, which was financed by junk bonds. That was it. They financed them using junk bonds. Okay. So the point is, you get in there and you would, like, sell off the assets and fire people and look. The point is, people got mad at that, and it's terrible. It's part of what ruined the country. I don't know. It seems like that's what we're always been about. Now, we had jobs for a while, but like while the getting was good, while the post-war boom, I talked about Bretton Woods. It wasn't just that, though. It's also the fact that everyone else is bombed to shit, and we weren't. So we got this hold of the economy. So I'm just saying we need to figure out. I think we have to lean. I know it seems like we lean into entertainment, but we need to all become part of the entertainment system. And that's what I'm trying to champion here. Like, do the politics thing. But, like, don't make it your whole thing. You need to build a brand. We need to start looking at talent the way we do sports. I mean, you look at the way we cultivate sports in this country. It's very good. I mean, kids who play basketball are scouted from the ages of, like, I remember reading a book 10 years ago, at least, which is weird because I don't really read books about sports. I'm a very casual sports fan. I like basketball, but like I don't watch a lot of the games until the playoffs. But I read this book about how there was this guy who basically his new thing was to, hey, like these guys, like Sonny Vaccaro from Nike, I think his name was, pioneered going to high school kids and getting them into Nike. And so I want to be the guy who goes to like to middle school, junior high, which seems like a weird boundary to push. I mean, at what point when you're part of this do you not go like, that's a little weird? Like everything's inherently exploitive. You can argue if you're a Marxist that capitalism is exploitive. But if you're saying, hey, I think we really got to, monetize children who are younger than we typically monetize, I mean, how is that? It's just weird that you can function in society and also be that. I know that some of these people are pedophile criminals, but that's a different thing. It's almost like a supervillain thing where you're hiding this just to fuck you, like the Catholic Church thing. Like you became a priest to do it, and then the whole thing is like an evil version of The Departed, where you're just kind of hiding in the vestibule while people are doing their novenas, just praying to God, and you're just jerking off to whatever. I don't even want to get into it. But the point is, but the people who are monetizing kids, so I don't know. But this is what we have. So why are we doing it with sports, but not talent? We're relying on these game shows to like find talent out there. But we should be doing what they do in like China. Now again, I don't want to hurt the kids. Like they alleged the kids were hurt during the Olympics. Remember that big 2008 Beijing Olympics with the great opening ceremony? They say the kid, I don't know. I mean, they just seem more disciplined in general. I could have used a little discipline. I was playing the clarinet. I didn't like it. I didn't like blowing through the wood, the reed. I wanted to play the saxophone. Maybe because of Lisa Simpson. Maybe because it's just cooler. I mean, look, there are clarinet players out there. They're not. It doesn't seem cool to a kid. It doesn't seem cool to me now. I don't know why I couldn't just have a saxophone. It said I was in like third grade. They said I couldn't have it until I was fourth grade, which seemed dumb. like just age into it. But whatever. But then you start on this track, and like so whatever. I remember just being really distressed having to play the clarinet. But if I had these like kind of Communist Party handlers forcing me, not my mom who relented, who just said fine, you don't have to play the clarinet. But if I had some like brutal, I'm not saying they should be brutal, but in hindsight, it could have been helpful. Because now I don't play an instrument very well. I started playing guitar for a while. Never in hindsight, I thought it was serious, but I was just thinking about guitar a lot and diddling around. I didn't learn scales. I didn't learn all the chords I needed to learn. I could have, my point is I could have been something. And I'm not saying it has to be the People's Republic of China forcing me to become something, but somewhere in between. Because we can't just rely on like British people like Simon Cowell and like the guy from CeeLo Green to like just cast a wide net and hope you have talent. We have to train. All we have is entertainment. All we have is our ability to podcast and OnlyFans and do Cameo. Like our biggest export should be Cameo greetings. We should be telling I should be learning to say like, oh, konnichiwa, like, and then learn. I took some Japanese in college. I remember almost none of it. Watashi no tengo wa film desu, which I think means my major is film, which it was for a semester before I just failed everything. None of them were film classes. That's the thing about whatever. That's not the point. The point is I have to learn Japanese. I have to learn other languages. That's our biggest problem right now. Is that we're not bilingual enough, and we need to be out there greeting people in French, greeting people in different African languages. They're an emerging market. I'm ashamed to say I don't know. I can't name a bunch of African languages. I'm sure. I'm not gonna even try to guess because it's probably gonna sound stupid. But is Moroccan like I don't even know? Is Moroccan a language? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they speak something else. Who knows? Is Egyptian a language? I think it is. We should be learning, or they speak Arabic. I think it's probably both, right? I don't know. The point is we got to be learning these things so that we can do dances for people, that we can greet their grandmother on their Halloween birthday and say, hey, hello, and this will be in a foreign language. Hello, Grandma Sarah. Happy Halloween birthday. It's your birthday and Halloween. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I started doing a little dance, and I'm just, playing my techno music, and I'm just like, it's aggressive. They probably don't, they get a little mad because I'm just kind of, I'm letting the beats drop too hard, but whatever, I'm a bad boy. But the point is, this needs to be everyone. It doesn't work if it's just me and you and a couple people. We all need to, like, the same way that we all worked in a factory at one point, and then before that, farms. We need to be creative farms of people, just making schlock. It can't just be like Quibi is not going to work. It needs to be bottom up. We need to all just kind of you walk into someone's living room and it's a little YouTube studio. They got a little camera. It needs to be a giant sweatshop of a country that just produces. I mean, there will be porn, but porn is so passé. Like you don't need more porn. There's enough porn out there that it's you need new stuff. If I could show you new stuff that isn't new, you know what I mean? That's how much there is. We'll keep the cycle going. We'll deep fake. We'll find porn stars to deep fake their face onto. So then you'll never know the difference. I saw this. You can be. I saw this. Spit roast 10 years ago with Riley Reid, but now it's Kimmy Di Potato, and now it's the same thing. No one's gonna know. All right, we need advertising streams. We gotta be advertising the new poisons, the new poison chemicals, Dow chemicals, whatever. I don't know where money comes from anymore. I don't know. It all just circulates around. I'm not sure what's actually creating money. It's all just a scam anyway. Because what are we gonna, we're gonna keep fighting China about like exporting jobs. That's the thing. We're good at are the Chinese as good at? I'm not saying they're not creative, but I feel like we still have the edge as far as being boisterous and being kind of shameless and kind of being kind of just fame seeking. We all want to be famous anyway. So we need to kind of create a collective pool of just bad talent. But we need to teach the kids need to learn how to play the clarinet. Little fat Ray needs to be taught. Like, you have to do your scales, blow into this. I know it hurts your teeth. Stop being such a fucking weak worm, a fat worm. You're a contradiction in terms, little Ray. You're a fat worm who is weak. We need to just expand this whole thing. I mean, we're united around like Trump and this and that and the cops. Like, let the cops also be, make them play the violin, make them do Pokemon dances. I mean, let them do Twitch streams. I mean, are these Twitch streams helping anyone? Is anyone really watching these things? I guess they are. I mean, PewDiePie is a very, I know he loves. Does he love Hitler? I don't know. I know it's like that's probably offensive to gamers. Because you don't get it. He's just being sarcastic. All right, I'm just telling you from 10,000 feet. I don't know what to think, and I don't want to get behind the guy. But that's what I'm saying. But he seems popular enough, so I guess people do watch this stuff. But I mean, are people putting money into the system? I think we need to get kids off games a little bit and have them learn to serenade people with a violin at some kind of restaurant. Ship them. To Venice. Who has money? Are we all gonna China? Are we gonna all become like who's gonna have money in the next 50 years? Is my point to spend? Are we? Or is China? Is India? I don't know. We're all kind of experiencing climate change and the viruses. I mean, we need to adapt. I mean, are we gonna be driving around? We need to get rid of cars and just have moving stages. They'll still be like motors, but we need to be driving around with big glass trucks with people just doing Partridge Family shit. We have to just keep the ball moving. No, it's like a firing squad. The whole thing with a firing squad. Apparently, I don't know. This might be one of those things that has never been true, but they say it is. But this is the legend or whatever. Is that you got 5 guys in the firing squad. One of them doesn't have a bullet, so no one knows they're the guy who shot. Which is like it's a big bullet. They have a rifle. How about one guy has a bullet and no one knows who shot? I also feel like if you shot a bullet, right? Like, is it a blank? I guess you wouldn't know if it's a blank. It seems pretty. I mean, if that makes you feel better, that's part of the problem. I mean, if you feel better, I mean, I'm rooting my own point here, I guess, but it really is just so like you get home from work at the firing squad place, the prison, I guess. Or the firing squad store, whatever. And your wife's like, how was work? Killing people, you scumbag. And it's like, well, you married me, so I don't know why you're giving me shit. But, it was fine. And he goes, well, did you kill someone today? Well, I don't actually know that, do I? Because I might have had a blank in my gun. So I'm pretty sure that you can't just call me a killer. Like, how can you get in? Is that really helping your conscience? To think like, well, look, I would have killed him, but I don't know if I did. Like, it's just, but that's the point. That we need to kind of create a cocoon around America. And everyone's got a stage. Everyone's got a YouTube channel. And no one really knows who's popular. They know outside. There's someone outside controlling the whole thing. Like a control booth. But like, I don't know. I don't get to see my podcast numbers. I don't know. I mean, some people can interact with me. But we filter it, right? So, like, even if I have 10,000 listeners, let's say I have 100,000 listeners, only a certain percentage of people can contact me. So, like, I'll maybe some people suck so bad they don't get anyone. But I mean, me and Rogan get the same amount of people talking to them, letting them know they like them, just for the sake of like interaction, because people like that shit. But like, you don't know your numbers. We're all just blindly doing content into the void. With some feedback, with super fans requesting that you put stuff in your ass, which is not the kind of show, but they still, I mean, that's the one thing about the future I don't like, is that they're still gonna, if you pay enough, this system kind of lends itself to that it's kind of a moral hazard of the system that like whoever's running this is eventually gonna get to the point where it's like, well, look, a guy happened to like Kump, and he wanted Kump to put something in his ass, and we're like, well, it's not that kind of show, sir. We have other wonderful shows that do that kind of thing. He's like, well, here's 50 grand, and they're like, done, and like now you got to do it. And I admit I've kind of opened the door to make it just more accessible. Is it happening anyway? But I've kind of put everything on a platter, and now it's like, all you have to do is say yes, and I'm dildoing my ass with a big broom and something more fun, maybe a McDonald's hamburger, narrated by Brian Cox, going, McDonald's Big Mac hamburger. That's great. Being shoved up a man's ass. That's real. Because he's doing this ad for McDonald's. I was talking about it on the Patreon a little bit. But, Brian Cox, star of Succession, is just hawking French fries. See, we're already doing it. We're already hawking French fries. The guy's before Succession, he was already a legend. Great. He was the original Hannibal Lecter. He's in Braveheart. He's in Rushmore. He's in countless films. And he's in success. Just so much success, and it's not enough. You gotta hawk fries for McDonald's. It's not even like fries. You can't even get behind them. I mean, we all like McDonald's fries, but people talk them up. They're fine. There's a thing where you grow up and you're like, oh, McDonald's is great. And look, some of it, the select items I still like, right? The double quarter pounder with cheese, or even the regular quarter pounder with cheese. But I think the double quarter pounder with cheese just has a better meat to bread ratio. There's something about that. A Big Mac is disgusting to me, personally. I mean, not just because I won't spit out of my mouth, but it's because kind of, what am I doing? If I was going to cheat on my diet with it, I would have a taste one. But why do they do this? While a double quarter pounder with cheese, you go, oh, that was good, and you hope you don't, just keep cheating because of that. Like, there's a difference there. There's debauchery, and it doesn't mean it's not a fucking aged steak. It's not a dry aged steak from Smith and Wolinski's and with the wonderful cream spinaches and all the accoutrement with a nice dry whiskey or whatever the fuck. No, it's just it's a burger. But the point is, you like it. The fries I never really got. I don't understand. Like, they're tasty, but they're salty. I'm digressing. The point is, I'm just saying, if you showed me like Checkers fries, if Brian Cox wanted to hawk Checkers fries, I wouldn't view it so much as a sign of the apocalypse or dystopia. I mean, the apocalypse sounds, a little hysterical, but like, I'm just saying, what is this guy owe money? What do you need this? I mean, like, that's the level of, like, there used to be a certain level of dignity, where it was like, this is just too much. This is just too. I have children, and they see me on holidays. I'm gonna have to look them in the eye, and they go, "We saw you in the McDonald's commercial. Is everything okay?" And I'll have to be like, so look, sometimes grandpas can't be the they can't have dignity. I have to say, but that's gone now. What we have now is a state of negative social pressure, so that, like, everything is just like, well, no one's everyone's in on the scam, so there's no disincentive to, like, there's no more, like, you feel like the schmuck because you see everyone else getting rich, and no one's gonna give you credit for not doing it, so you just go for it. So I'm just saying, like, we have Brian Cox is just selling the hamburger. He's also in Succession, but he's also selling the hamburger while I'm shoving something in my ass. Maybe, a McDonald's. Oh, yeah, that's right. He's narrating me shoving a Big Mac. It's not even a double quarter pounder with cheese. It's a Big Mac. That's the disgrace of it all. It's like I could see a big, whatever. But I'm shoving this in my ass, and Brian Cox is going, ooh, that's a good Big Mac hamburger with the double patties in the sauce. You like that? And, like, it's all just for some guy to watch and just, I guess, jerk off. I mean, but these are the exceptions, all right? Because most of us are just going to be kind of creating content in a pool, is my point. And we don't know what's going on. And we're making our merch, and we don't know if people are buying it. And there's a certain anxiety to that, but it's unavoidable. But we're all just pooling the money together. And then you get insurance. You get help. It's not, it can be good health insurance. It won't be in this case. I'm being honest. I'm not the best guy at design societies. It's gonna you'll have a doctor. It won't. The doctors will also be kind of doing cameos and cabarets and like pole dance fitness videos, like cardio pole dancing with like a real medical slant to it. So they're gonna be kind of tired and not that focused on your eczema or your psoriasis or your weird heart murmurs. They're gonna give you some pills. We're all gonna be this is just gonna be it. It's gonna be us just entertaining each other. It's just a giant like one of those weird peep booths where you don't really see everyone. And then you've been to one of those where like you go in and it's a big circle and all the other guys and she's you dropping money so you hope she comes to you. But in reality, it's like I never got far enough into the game where it was like that. It was more like just kind of this is interesting. I'm a young man. It was like I drop some money but like the idea of like here's some money, come to me. It feels bizarre. It feels like a kind of it's just built to make you feel like what am I treating like an animal? Like like you're going to do a bidding war of me and the guy who works at the Subway who makes my sandwiches. And we're going to be bidding on this lovely stripper to come over and not even touch us. Like it's just. The whole gimmick of that just seems perverse. Like prostitution makes more sense. The whole idea, but this is like in the peep booth. But then you get paying for a lap dance and I'll snuggle you. You get a little snuggle, and it's nice. I mean, that's not what most people like. I just like them when they snuggle my head with their hair. Is that creepy? I don't know. I was lonely. What am I going to tell you? I didn't hurt anybody. I was just, whatever. Point is, it's like that. That's our experience though with this whole system is that we're gonna be just kind of making content because sometimes you would catch a glimpse of a guy when the light hit. It was all the mirrors or whatever, and it wasn't great. But that's gonna be it. We're all gonna be kind of doing Into the Void for like 12 hours a day, and then we're gonna come out and no one's gonna talk about it. Your wife and you don't like. I don't know if my wife's a porn star or if she's teaching geometry. It's kind of an accepted thing. We just don't talk about it. But this is, is geometry really like, maybe we'll axe that. Well, no, none of this teaching shit. Unless you're doing like stupid Neil deGrasse Tyson geometry where it's like, actually, who was a real rock star was Euclides because he actually shut up. So sick of Neil deGrasse Tyson. Trying to make science cool. Like stupid Mikio Kaku, like time is like a river. Like no, just whatever. Everyone's trying to explain time. It's just like I just intuitively get we're not going to go back in time. They all try. I don't know. I want to learn calculus just to disprove all these other people. But that's probably a bad way to learn calculus. No one's going to teach you. There's no calculus professor who's going to like teach you to like debunk calculus. There's no interest in that. Like, their whole thing is to be like, calculus can prove everything, economics and science and this and that. And aren't you full of shit? They're not going to say yes. They're just going to keep the gimmick going. So you go back to your booth and, maybe you play, you put a ball in your head and you bounce it. I don't know. You talk about history, but like without any real authority. You never bring up actual sources or, reasonable recounts of it. You're just kind of shooting from the hip like these podcast idiots. Like, who was cool is this guy, these serial killers. Like, everything's just boiled down to cheap gimmicks. But yeah, so that's going to be the future. I don't know how we got into this, but that's the thing. That's how we're going to get healthcare. It's the only way. Because we have nothing else going on. Are we good at building things? I don't know. Are we good at building cars? I mean, we have the Tesla, right? But we're not like amazing at building cars anymore. I think the Japanese are better and probably other people. Are we good at building dams? I don't know. We're good at building weapons. Yes. But why don't we all have jobs at weapons industries? That's the thing. Why is it all so top down? If that's the gimmick. Like, it would be a moral conundrum, but why am I not making a missile? Shouldn't it be more weapons jobs? Shouldn't I be like programming a drone? That's the bizarre thing. For something we're so good at, I mean, why can't you just dictate? The whole thing should be dictating AI. So you can't just have or technology. Just don't let them use robots to build stuff. I mean, I'll build a gun, I guess. An M16. I'm just like, what do? I build M16s and then we give them to children through quote unquote illegal arms sales. And I mean, where do they get them from? I mean, who like they all know. Like, first, the CIA is doing it. They're like, where these guys who are arming entire armies with guns they shouldn't have. It's like, well, who makes the thing? Because they know. Don't tell me they don't know. And these are the people who are supposedly best friends with the people in the government. These arms dealers, they know. So it's like, again, I'm ranting about arms dealing. But the point is you pretend like you don't know. But so my point is we're doing it anyway. Whether or not I build the gun or not, it's still going to the kids. So may as well give people the job and give them the health care. I don't know why we don't just why instead of making government health care, how about we just make government? Why does the government just make the guns? That's the thing. Why what do we? We can't just. Well, let these companies sell us guns. But how about when we make guns, we sell them to other people? We sell the American guns made by the government. Oh, the government can't make shit. It's so bad. Only private companies. It is the government. The government's paying for it. It's a private company doesn't really work in the sense of the market if the money has to come from the market is the point, right? If the market incentives are gone, then the whole logic of why private industry is better than the government goes away. It's not just smart. I mean, unless your argument is that they should be able, smart people should be able to pilfer the economy with government grants, which just seems beyond, the argument of laissez-faire capitalism. It doesn't make any sense to me. So the point is, just have, government jobs where you just make shitty bombs, really like the post office. But you go in there and and you'll have good benefits, and you take your coffee break, and you're making landmines, and you're making, child hunting bullets that, come out of a gun, and they aim, they find a target that's the shortest. I don't know what, goes on in war. I didn't go to war. I could have gone to wars. Does that make me a coward? That's up to you. I'm sorry, I don't have, enough respect for the flag to whatever the fuck. I don't know. I'm just saying, that's the gimmick. We need to, but going after, my point, this whole, Jews for Trump, and then people spray paint them and getting all mad. It's too simple, right? At least complicate the thing. It can't just, you're going to tell me you have Biden on one side, you have Trump on the other, and, I get the apathy of not voting at all. I get it more than this. I don't think it's the right thing to do. But the idea of getting this, I get the instinct, right? There's the instinct to go, oh, this makes me, it's when you watch Fox News or MSNBC. You get that thing, right, where it's oh, this is terrible. But then, if you're not a moron, you kind of learn pretty quickly to go, oh, but this is not actual real life. This is whatever. And the same thing with even just local news where it's crime in your area and all that shit. But we haven't seemed to learn it on the grander scale with just everything else. It's not just the news doing it. It's just the whole, I'm mad about the cages. I am. But it's also am I just going to become this caricature? No. That's the whole point. Just fight that. And then go do a dance in your room with the camera for as far as you know, the king of Saudi Arabia. And you're doing a little TikTok dance like Sasha Obama. Was it Sasha? People got, people were giving her shit on TikTok because she was doing a little Nicki Minaj dance. She looked good. I didn't even know who she was. I saw her on Twitter, this good-looking woman. And then it's oh, it's Sasha Obama. And I guess the twins or whatever they were, sisters. And so it was, you should be ashamed of yourself. I mean, I don't know what dignity you think there ever was in the White House, but especially now. I mean, Kennedy's just, dropping pills in the mouths of every secretary he can find, getting shot with, amphetamines in his spine while he's just gangbanging whores in the White House pool. But you're worried about, the Obama twins. People just want something to believe in, right? They need to believe. It's amazing the craving you have for outrage. Everyone seems to be on board with that. Everyone's addicted to outrage, whether it's, the outrage about, I don't know what, the moral standards of the right, people like Trump. I mean, it's bizarre. Like, the level of this, you think people should, I don't even know what, you're a Catholic church, you make a kid fucking factory, sidebar. The Pope named the first black cardinal, so cool. I mean, that's good. I mean, equality is good. I'm not even kidding. It's nice. It's kind of like saying the first, whatever, what's the word here? Diverse, crime lord, but whatever. So just kudos to the Pope. I was going to talk about more. There's nothing much to say. I mean, how much can I say about the church? People get mad when I talk about the church, mostly because it devolves into me just slandering Jesus with fun, things about how, being covered in shit, whatever. But, I'm not going to retread that. And not because you told me not to. I'm just saying we'll revisit that in a few months. But the point is the level of just the addiction to, like, I need to be mad that someone's dancing. I need to be... Why don't you just build a modular synthesizer? Why don't you do that? Why don't you get some electronic components? And you'd be surprised how satisfied you'll feel if you can just make some bleeps with a little cord and this is an oscillator, right? This is a voltage controlled oscillator. This makes your noise. You have sine waves, and you have sawtooth waves, and you have pulse width waves, and you can modulate that with a low-frequency oscillator that passes through a voltage-controlled filter with resonance and cutoff, and you can modulate the cutoff. So you can modulate the cutoff with the LFO, and so it goes filter sweep. But that can be modulated with the low-frequency oscillator, so it's rhythmic, and you find a sweet spot. And, like, you don't have to worry about people dancing. You just force people to have hobbies. Just make someone cut wood. I mean, if my dad made me cut wood, I'd probably enjoy cutting. Like, I kind of got into it for a while. We've talked about it. Make people basket weave. They do it in prison, don't they? Doesn't everyone have to pick an activity? Why don't we do that in real life? Just pick an activity. I don't know what people are doing with their time. Learn a different language. Learn to, what else can they do? Cook? Can they make souffles? Do I don't care. I mean, it's just it's not fake. It's all real shit. It's all really horrible. It's just you can choose to, like, just not let it consume you. Or you can choose to get into my system, and we all pull together our fake talent. And we dance, and we sing, we put on plays together, big, there's no Broadway anymore. It's all just kind of televised, like the fake West Wing show. That's stupid. I talked about last week, that stupid West Wing revival, where it's just them on a stage, the self-righteous. I used to love that show, the self-righteousness of that. But that'll be what shows are now. CSI Extreme, or the NCIS Extreme with Don Marino, will just take place on a stage. And you'll have to imagine a Navy admiral of all his, crimes against humanity being shot in the head. You'll see Don Marino. He'll have his little football outfit they squeezed into, and there'll be a guy with a Navy outfit. But we're not gonna have a bother to have like them in a boatyard with a bunch of other Navy men. You use your imagination. All right. Too much production value. We got to scale back to production value. We have to take the porn model and apply it to entertainment. Make it cheaper, make it quicker. Just, make it like good improv, not like actual UCB, not UCB, like real, like good improv. And just, get Hugh Laurie to teach everyone. He seems good at it. Get Patrick Stewart, get, Pachino. Force him, like, we'll milk Pachino like he's a cow for his talent. We'll teach him how to make us, you going to tell me that we take 500 random kids between the ages of 7 and 12, and we force them into a room with Al Pacino, a big room, and he's got to weed people out. You tell me you can't find a few guys who can say hoo-ah? A few guys will say hoo-ah. They'll say, you're out of order, I'm out of order, we're all out of order. I mean, how good does it have to be? Early Pacino's not that good. I mean, he gets better as he goes along. But a lot of it's just random. It's a guy like Pachino with a certain sensibility, a certain frequency of his voice, and a certain kind of work ethic, and just what he brings to the table. But it's not like it's unique because not that many people who have what he has would do it and go through that. So we just take the guesswork out of it. We just kind of, maybe you go through a thing. Maybe like you get weeded through the Al Pacino machine. You spend 6 weeks with Al Pacino, and if he can't get you to say hoo-ah, you move on to woodworking or dancing. We figure out what we're good at, but we give it a good try. You're not being taught by some schmuck teacher. That's a problem. We're like getting other failures to teach failures. We get Pachino. We get Brian Cox to teach you how to do McDonald's commercials. It's like, no, kid. I have to believe that even though you're a rich man who's esteemed and whose children love him, you're talking about garbage food that's made for rats, but you like it. That's what you have to say. And if they can't do it, then they move on to, I don't know, LeBron James tries to get him to dunk a basket or whatever, pass the ball. Everyone gets, we have to kind of get these big coliseums and move kids through. Your whole 7 through 12 years of your life is being pushed through different programs where you're being taught by the best people in the world, and then we find it doesn't matter if you like it. We find out what you're good at. Will some people be good at nothing? I don't know. You're gonna tell me that guy? Maybe the people who are good at nothing, they can just someone's got to be good at something. Maybe I don't want to say that's all just scat porn. Perhaps you're a background dancer. Those become the extras. All right. I said we wouldn't have extras, but that's what we because so many people who are extras are trying to be actors, right? We get rid of that. Those people, you get some guy who's like who would be hitting someone with a rock and bring them to a sex dungeon. He's just in the background of Gossip Girl, and he's not hurting anybody because he's being watched. And it's just fun. It's just nice. So that's what we're setting up. We're setting up a whole new society of just organized talent. No one's famous. Everyone's famous. It's just brutal communism we're talking about, but there's gimmicks. Like the problem with communism is like everyone's just like, what was everyone doing? Like you were farmers, but you weren't. You were against the kulaks or whatever. Jordan Peterson's always talking about that. The kulaks getting killed, but like, I'm not trying to promote Jordan Peterson, but he's got a point there. Like, the middle class farmers are being blamed for the starvation, so they were take all that shit out of it. We'll get robots to farm, all right, and we'll make the goddamn talent. And people kept busy. That's the problem. No one was kept busy enough. They're all just. They have factories. I don't know. It just seems like no one had good jobs. These won't be great jobs, but they're like, we'll find a gimmick for you. We'll find maybe you draw, and we'll have you draw weird little like caricatures and like shitty anime. Like it won't be good anime anymore. It'll be anime that's just kind of like 5 frames a second, which is not enough. It'll be very choppy. But you get what you get. We're going to be so immersed in creating content that we're not going to care about content anymore. We're going to be burnt down on watching content. We're just going to want to go home, and we're just going to want to like get, take some pills, which they'll give us, and listen to some, just humming noise, some low frequency humming, and just zone out. Maybe, you and your wife just kind of hold each other's genitals and whisper stuff to each other because you're afraid you're being listened to, which you probably are. Again, am I describing a hellscape? It depends on how you look at it. I don't know what to tell you. What's your alternative? Throwing rocks at the Jews for Trump? That's not working either. Okay, you either get the hobby. I told you get hobbies on your own. If you're not going to do that, the government's going to make you get a hobby, and that's what this is. This is just get a hobby. I've said so many times. I can't keep saying it. So vote, but just also do something else, and not play. Don't just play video games. Have something you can point to and go, I made that, even though it's not that good, even if it's not amazing. People like that you did something. I don't know why. They just do. Trust me. All right? People are very impressed that you do anything because no one does anything. So do something. Enjoy that. Yeah, so that was fun, I guess. Great times. Remember to get your shirt. Your I'm a Wine Princess Bitch t-shirt. You're going to need that to prove your loyalty to something, me, in the coming months. You know, we're entering a turbulent time. You can't be, if you're wearing sports jerseys, if you're wearing a Trump shirt or a Bernie shirt, people are going to start throwing rocks at you. But no one's anti-Kump. Everyone likes Kump. Everyone likes wine. People are going to find it charming. You can kind of, weave through society wearing these shirts because everyone's going to be like, that's something, but not something I don't like. It's distinctive, but I don't hate it because you can't say anything about many even bands. People hate bands now, but no one hates I'm a Wine Princess Bitch. It's bizarre and people don't have an opinion about it, and you can talk about it, and it's just a personality. It's your personality. It's fine because you picked it. So embrace that. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram at RayComps. Time for my Patreon. Extra episode every week. Listen to Our Love is Disgusting. Me and Lucy Steiner, we're back. We've been back for a few weeks now. It's been coming, we just keep making the content. We get the gimmick. We understand. We're not waiting around for the government to give us a hobby. We have our hobbies, and we're doing them eagerly. So help support them. We'll probably be teaching the class on, maybe whatever. Assisting the teachers is more successful. I mean, given my example, I don't think we're the Pachino of podcasts yet, but so maybe we'll be TAs. But point is, whatever. Enjoy it. Have a great week. I'll see you, either the middle of the week or whatever for the Patreon, or see you next week. Have a great time.